Good day, guys. This is your host Naresh from Auto Cars India. Once again, we are together on the eve of Formula One round number 11 at Hungarian Grand Prix. This is me bringing you live commentary for this race. Hope you had a good session yesterday with qualifying turned out to be absolutely a cracker for Ferraris, where Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen has gone 1-2 for Ferrari, Scarlet Ferrari in red, and Mercedes, both the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton is on third and fourth position. It was such a nice day yesterday where we saw Ferraris really coming up with such a nice day, and what they could deliver the best, they did that yesterday. So just to give you how the championship stands today, with Hungarian Grand Prix just about to start in another 15 minutes. In terms of drivers, Sebastian Vettel is leading the drivers' championship with 177 points for Ferrari, and he's just 1 point clear of Lewis Hamilton, who is at the second position with 176 points. Valtteri Bottas catching up thick and fast for Mercedes with 154 points. Fourth position is Daniel Ricciardo for Red Bull with 117 points, followed by Kimi Raikkonen, 98 points for Ferrari, Max Verstappen, 57 points, Sergio Perez, 52 for Force India, followed by teammate Esteban Ocon with 43 points for Force India. Carlos Sainz for Toro Rosso is sitting with 29 points. Renault, Nico Hülkenberg, 26 points. Felipe Massa, Williams Mercedes, 23, followed by his teammate Lance Stroll, 18 points for Williams Mercedes. Roman Grosjean in Haas with 18 points, followed by his teammate Kevin Magnussen, 11 points. Pascal Wehrlein for Sauber, 5 points. Daniel Kvyat is sitting with Toro Rosso with 4 points. Fernando Alonso McLaren has 2 points. So championship is being set very nicely, and in terms of constructor standings, Mercedes is pretty clear of the competition, which is Ferrari. Mercedes is first position with 330 points, way clear of Ferrari with 55 points. Ferrari stands at 275 points. Red Bull at third position with 174 points. Force India Mercedes 95 points. William Mercedes 41 points, Toro Rosso 33 points, Haas Ferrari 29, Renault 26, Sauber 5 points, and 2 with McLaren Honda. That's been taken by Fernando Alonso. Just to update you guys, Felipe Massa is not running this race in Hungary this weekend due to his illness, and Paul Di Resta, who has ran Force India cars 3 years back, is the replacement for him. And it's very interesting to see Paul Di Resta was almost sitting at the back of the grid, and we do not expect much from him. He is starting 9th on the grid today, but I'm sure the caliber of driver of Paul Di Resta is going to bring decent result for the team and him. We have about 6 minutes to start off this racing. Just to give you the starting lineup, Sebastian Vettel is starting P1 here for Ferrari. Kimi Raikkonen starts second. Valtteri Bottas starts third in Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton starts fourth, Mercedes 2, and chances of Lewis Hamilton to get the pole were quite bright, but he could not convert it. So he's going to start fourth. Max Verstappen for Red Bull starting fifth in Red Bull Racing, followed by his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who is starting 6th on the grid. Fernando Alonso starts 7th, followed by Stoffel Vandoorne, starts 8th. Carlos Sainz for Scuderia Toro Rosso starts 9th. Joylyn Palmer, Renault, starts 10th. Esteban Ocon, Force India, starting 11th position. Nico Hülkenberg in Renault, with his grid place penalties, he's starting at 12th. He qualified ahead of Fernando Alonso, but due to the penalties, he's going to start at 12th position. Sergio Perez for Force India starting at 13th position, followed by Roman Grosjean in 14th. Kevin Magnussen of Haas starts at 15th position. Daniel Kvyat starts 16th for Toro Rosso. 17th position startup for Lance Stroll Williams. Pascal Wehrlein starts 18th for Sauber. Paul Di Resta, replacement for Felipe Massa, starts 19th. And last position Marcus Ericsson for Sauber. That's the starting grid. We are going to start in just few minutes of time. Friends, in the meantime, when we have the live commentary going on and we have about few minutes to go on live, I would request you to click and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on the right bottom corner of your screens. And I'll be taking you through this round of Hungarian Grand Prix at Budapest, which is round number 11 of Formula 1 2017 season. Presently, national anthem is going on of Hungary, and it's a very good atmosphere which is happening at the circuit right now, as all the drivers are getting ready to get into the cars. Sooner or later they will be starting off with some great action coming on in another few minutes of time. Just to remind, this race lasts for 70 laps. Air temperature today is 30 degrees Celsius, which is quite high and good for the car, for the tires to behave in a best possible manner, with track temperature rising up to 55 degrees Celsius. Would imagine this is the ideal temperature for the tires to set in as soon as possible, and Mercedes will really like that to happen. Very interesting fact in this circuit, where there are really tough corners, couple of corners in Budapest, where especially the turn 4, where every driver has struggled when they are traversing those curves, especially Lewis Hamilton also losing it quite a few number of times during last 3 days. In the meantime, friends, there is one quiz also is going on. On the screen you can see the exclamation mark on the right, top right, bottom of your screen. Please, let's participate in the poll and give your views and give your driver of the day who will win this Grand Prix. So that will be great, and it will be interesting to see the result, because we are going to expect something great today evening, as medical car and safety car inspects the circuit one last time before the race starts, before the grid formation starts. And do remember to like and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on right bottom corner of your screen. There are 2 DRS zones available on this circuit. However, the opportunities for overtaking are not much, and drivers have to really find their way across to overtake the cars in front of them. Not an easy circuit to carry out the overtaking here. And Lewis Hamilton, starting on 4th, will have the challenge up his hand, and it's been some time when Lewis Hamilton find himself in a very tricky position, where he knows the car is not so strong as compared to the Ferraris, which has clearly been seen all the weekend in Hungary this time around. And Ferraris have comfortably clinched P1 and P2 positions in qualifying yesterday, where Mercedes were not able to show the guts to bring their cars in front, and they really did not challenge the Ferraris. So that will be very interesting to see today. We could also see some surprise package just to give you grid position again. So Ferraris 1, 2, 3, 4 goes to Mercedes, 5 and 6 for Red Bulls, 7 and 8 for McLaren, Honda, Fernando Alonso, Stoffel Vendôme, 9th position Carlos Sainz, Jolyon Palmer, Renault starts 10th, 11 Force India, Esteban Ocon, gearbox penalty with Nico Hülkenberg starts at 12th position, 13th position for Sergio Perez, Force India, 14th for Roman Grosjean, Haas, 15th position Kevin Magnussen, Haas, and another grid penalty for Daniel Kvyat also for impeding the way. He had a penalty. Lance Stroll, Williams starts at 17th, Pascal Wehrlein, Sauber starts 18th, 19th Paul Di Resta after 2.5 years out of the Formula 1 starts 19th, 20th last position goes to Marcus Ericsson of Sauber. That's a grid lineup for you. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in corner 1 of this race. It's just about 500 meters from the start finish line, and it'll be interesting to see all cars piling up on the turn number 1. And it'll be very interesting. See, there is a lot of runoff area on this circuit, but if you lose out the track, surely you're going to miss out many positions over there. So as the drivers are already inside the car and we have few minutes to go, for the cars to start the formation lap. We are there almost, and all the mechanics and the team engineers are clearing the track. Tire blankets are coming out. Last minute settings have been done. Starting tires for top 10, all starting on super soft tires. That is a very interesting statistic to see, and followed by, it will be interesting what other drivers are going to start the tires with. So strategy comes in play with Daniel Kvyat and Paul Di Resta, who are starting on soft tires. We have 2 minutes to go precisely for the formation lap. All the mechanics and engineers have cleared the cars. Cars are on their own, and as the red light goes off, one red light, all cars are going to start the formation lap. 2 o'clock local time in Budapest, and there we go. So cars have started for the formation lap. All the cars safely take off from the formation lap, and it seems to be the strategy wise, the people who are taking soft tires will be stopping somewhere around lap 22, and people with 2 stop strategy will be stopping somewhere lap 16 and 45. So that will be interesting strategies to do, but most of the drivers have taken 2 stop strategies, so they should be stopping somewhere around lap 16. It will be interesting to see also Max Verstappen, who is starting 5th today, and luck has not been to his way all the way in this year championship, and today I'm sure he would like to cash in this effort where Mercedes cars are not very strong, and both the Ferraris on top 1 and 2, Mercedes 3 and 4, 5 and 6 for Red Bull Racing. Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen will like to cash in this opportunity and bring their cars in front when the race starts. Cars almost halfway in the formation lap. Mercedes topping the constructor championship with Ferrari in 2nd position with 55 points clear. Red Bull 174 points third, distant third from Ferraris. Sebastian Vettel slowing down the field, warming up the tires, last minute adjustment on the steering, and gets ready for the action at Hungarian Grand Prix round number 11 for Formula 1, bringing you live from myself, Naresh, from Autocars India. As the cars are getting ready, Please click and subscribe my channel by hitting right bottom corner subscribe button. In the meantime, Sebastian Vettel slowing down the field almost at the start finish straight and bringing the car to the box, positions his car well. Other cars are also getting lined up. So far so good. All drivers are ready to rock and roll at this circuit, Hungarian Grand Prix, which is fast flowing circuit, not demanding too much on speed, but definitely McLaren car is the best bet for this circuit. As the last car of Marcus Ericsson lines up, we are there for the 5 red lights to come on, and we have 5 red lights coming on, and we have the start of Hungarian Grand Prix. Everybody has a good start. Sebastian Vettel crosses the line, goes to the right side. Kimi Räikkönen right in behind, tries to overtake Sebastian Vettel on the left side, locking for Sebastian Vettel. All goes clearly. There is one car in trouble, goes off the track, but seems to be clear, and that seems to be clear. And there is another locking up for Daniel Ricciardo. Mercedes has lost out one place, seems to be Lewis Hamilton. Rest all the cars goes wide, and there is an mishap in the third corner. There is one car stranded over there, and there are yellow flags in sector 1. Fair bit of clean start for this race until the car came in third corner, and there is a red flag over there. Sebastian Vettel leads the race, lap 1 of 70, and here we have a casualty in the name of Daniel Ricciardo. What a promising start we were looking from Red Bulls, and we see Red Bull stranded on the side. It's such a pity. He had brought his car on the side, and we surely will going to have a safety car over there. We'll have to see what exactly happened, but definitely some of the cars have touched each other, and Daniel Ricciardo becomes the first casualty of the race. As the car being cleared for Daniel Ricciardo, everybody behind the safety car. Everybody cleared the track pretty nicely in the first corner. And seems to be Daniel Ricciardo had touch with one of the Mercedes cars over there. And in fact, he has touched Max Verstappen. Looks like teammates have touched each other. Yes, there has been touch between Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo car. And then one of the car takes him on. Daniel Ricciardo hits it in behind and retires him. Yes, it's surely the teammate Max Verstappen who touched the car of Daniel Ricciardo, and whole the damage was done. And I'm sure there is a lot of damage which has been done on Max Verstappen car also. Poor fellow Daniel Ricciardo is the victim now. And he's out of the race on very first lap of this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's such a pity at the start of the race where Red Bulls were seemed to be very, very promising, and Renault has taken Red Bull out of this race. Deeply disappointed, Daniel Ricciardo walking on the straight. It's such a pity for Daniel Ricciardo. Jolyon Palmer was the driver who hit him from behind, and as the oil spread over the track is being cleared by the sawdust, we are just about to get ready. Safety car, all the cars are behind the safety car. Safety car still in the lap. We are in the lap 4. We are in lap 4, just about to finish. Looks to be safety car will be in this lap. Getting back on the track, safety car still in the lap. We are on lap 5 now. So finally the safety car is in and we go racing once again. After the safety car went off, so Sebastian Vettel manages to keep the lead. He is in first position, followed by Kimi Raikkonen, Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen is running fourth right now, with Lewis Hamilton on fifth position. Carlos Sainz has gained quite heavily. He's on sixth position already. Fernando Alonso retains or maintains its seventh position. Sergio Perez for Force India on eighth. Stoffel Vandoorne, McLaren ninth position. Esteban Ocon 10th, completes the top 10 of this race. Lewis Hamilton is eyeing now to catch up with Max Verstappen, who is just about 1 second ahead of him. So we have lost Daniel Ricciardo right at the lap 1. Mercedes is all over the Red Bull to find a chance to overtake Red Bull. But superb defending by Max Verstappen. And here we go, there has been a 10-second time penalty which has been awarded to Max Verstappen for his wrongdoing he did with Daniel Ricciardo. And his teammate is already out of the race and he is going to get 10 seconds penalty once he goes to the pit for changing of his tires, and he has to serve that penalty. So race has been spoiled for Red Bull. In particular, now Daniel Ricciardo is out and Max Verstappen has been handed over the penalty. DRS has been enabled. We are in the lap 8 of the race. Vettel is getting clear of Kimi Raikkonen. He is already 2.5 seconds ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, who is at second position. Bottas is at third. Max Verstappen at fourth place. Remember, he has to serve his penalty of 10 seconds for a collision with Daniel Ricciardo in the first lap of the race. Battle of fourth is going on right now between Verstappen and Hamilton, but we don't really call it a battle because Vettel for Max Verstappen is anyway going to stop, and he is going to serve his 10-second penalty. We are already on lap 11th of 70 lap race. This Hungarian Grand Prix, we had quite a action lap for the first lap for this race, where Daniel Ricciardo collided with Max Verstappen, his teammate, and went out of the race straight away. And there has been a 10-second penalty which has also been given to Max Verstappen for causing this collision. In the meantime, there is some graining on the rear right tires which is being observed for Mercedes car, both the Mercedes cars. It's been pity for Max Verstappen that they were in such a good position today to really fight with Mercedes for the position here, but both the teammates have collided with each other and spoiled the chances. And Max Verstappen has been found at the complete taking side of the fault for the incident which happened with Daniel Ricciardo. And good news is that Hamilton, who is at 5th position, will be eventually at 4th position, which is a fairly good move by him. Alonso sits pretty at 7th position. Stoffel Vandoorne, who is presently at 9th position, had lost his position after the start to Sergio Perez. As we reach to the lap 12 of 70, there is small battles which are going on for the last place between Esteban Ocon of Force India, Joylen Palmer of Renault and Nico Hülkenberg of Renault, with all of them in just about separating by 1 second gap. Fernando Alonso looking strong at 7th position for McLaren and his teammate at 9th position for Stoffel Van Dorn. Lap 13 in progress. Vettel leading comfortably this race. Vettel is almost 3.5 seconds clear of Kimi Räikkönen here. And we have a yellow flag which is flying in sector 1. We have to see what exactly is that. So Sebastian Vettel well clear, 3.5 second yellow flag has been cleared. Kimi Räikkönen ahead of Bottas by almost 2 seconds gap. Max Verstappen is behind 1.5 seconds behind Bottas. And very soon the window for 2-stop strategy is going to open up in a lap or two from here on. So the only casualty for this race as of now is Daniel Ricciardo from Red Bull, who had been chucked out by his teammate Max Verstappen in the very first lap of the race. And Max Verstappen has been found guilty of causing the collision, and he is also going to serve 10-second stop-go penalty once he comes to the pits. Carlos Sainz has definitely gained good positions and he's running in 6th position right now. In the meantime, Hülkenberg is also complaining some cooling issues happening in his car as he is being stuck behind Esteban Ocon and his teammate Joylen Palmer. Remember, Renault, except Nico Hülkenberg, his greatness have not shown much promise in this weekend, and they are behind McLaren's. And also the restart, Fernando Alonso is under investigation for his restart after the safety car period. He and Carlos Sainz, both of them are under investigation. There was bit of wheel-to-wheel racing. In fact, they had a bit of hitting the wheels inside corner of McLaren Fernando Alonso. Hopefully he should not have made some damage or more on his car, which will really be very pity for McLaren because they are pitching very strongly for this race. We are in lap 60, 1/6 of 70. track temperature has risen up to 55 degrees Celsius here with air temperature 30 degrees Celsius. Sebastian Vettel leading the race comfortably at this point of time from Kimi Raikkonen, with third position Valtteri Bottas, followed by Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. And then there is a bit of gap between Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz, almost about 12 seconds. Fernando Alonso is further 3 seconds down from Carlos Sainz. And Sergio Perez another 3 seconds down from Fernando Alonso. Stoffel Van Dorn another 2 seconds down from Perez. And final position in the points, Esteban Ocon another 3 points, 3 seconds down. So there is a fair gap which is being maintained by position 5, position 6 to 10 onwards. The biggest gainer has been Sergio Perez, who has gained 5 places, and 3 places have been gained by Carlos Sainz. As lap 16 getting over, Vettel leads the race with clear 2.9 seconds ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas further 7 seconds down from him. And pit stop window is open now for the drivers, but surely they would like to extend this run as the safety car period had happened. They had few of the laps, 5 to 6 laps under the safety car. So some of the teams may choose to go for one stop strategy, as surely the tires are not showing so much of graining and they can extend the tire life by some more. Paul Di Resta tires are already 18 laps old and he seems to be in good position. Sebastian Vettel, as we reach to lap number 20 of 70, Sebastian Vettel leads comfortably with 2.8 seconds clear of Kimi Raikkonen, who is clear. Another 7 seconds of Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen is down further 3 seconds. There is a fair bit of gap between top 10 drivers, just about 2.5-3 seconds. And the field is nicely spread out at this point of the race. Fernando Alonso at this point of time looking strong at 7th position. However, he had a bit of wheel to wheel with Carlos Sainz, his fellow countryman in Toro Rosso, after the start, which doesn't seem to be hurting him much. Sebastian Vettel is clearly leading and controlling the pace of the race at this point of the time. He is 2.5 seconds clear of his fellow teammate Kimi Raikkonen. And Bottas at 3rd position, looking very comfortable at this point of time. And we have Roman Grosjean coming for a pit stop, and it seems to be he had some puncture, he had picked up some debris. Comes in the pits, pretty smoothly done. Tires change, yellow sidewall tires, soft tires. Comes back on the track safely. We are in lap 20, just about completed. Sebastian Vettel leading, and we have pit stop starts triggering now. It will be interesting to see so some problem with Roman Grosjean Haas car. After the pit stop he came out. We have to see what exactly happened over there. But he's out, he is parking his car on the side. Yellow flags out in sector 2. In the meantime, bit of battle going on between Esteban Ocon, Force India, and Nico Hülkenberg in 11th position. Nico Hülkenberg has managed to overtake his teammate Jolyon Palmer. We are in lap 23 of the race with Sebastian Vettel leading the race with 2.2 seconds clear of Kimi Raikkonen. Bottas further 4 seconds down. Max Verstappen 2.5 second gap. Lewis Hamilton another 2.5 second gap, and then there is a big gap of 17.5 seconds between Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. And further till 10th position, cars are evenly spread out with 2.5 second gaps till 10th position. So top 10, Sebastian Vettel first, Kimi Raikkonen second, P3 Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen fourth position, fifth goes to Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, Toro Rosso sixth, Fernando Alonso seventh, eighth Sergio Perez, Max ninth Stoffel Vendome, 10th position goes to Esteban Ocon. Right at the bottom of the field, Marcus Ericsson. And drivers in the casualty list, Daniel Ricciardo out in the first lap. Lap number 23, Roman Grosjean also out. So we have two casualties, drivers out of the race, Daniel Ricciardo and Roman Grosjean. Pity for Red Bull that Daniel Ricciardo is out, and Max Verstappen also has to serve his 10 seconds penalty very soon when he comes in for his pit stop. Sebastian Vettel in the meantime very comfortably managing the pace of this round 11 of Hungarian Grand Prix. He is just about 1.8 seconds clear. We are on lap 26. Sebastian Vettel leading the race comfortably from Kimi Raikkonen with almost 2 seconds of gap between them. all the cars should be reaching the prime for their first set of tires, the super soft tires, and they should be bringing the cars in for a fresher set of tires. And Roman Grosjean was released in unsafe condition, and that was the reason why he parked his car in sector 2, and he has also been given a penalty. Quantum will be known later, but that is under investigation. Daniel Ricciardo tried to keep his cool once he came to the pits, back walking from his car, and the only thing he mentioned was that he was amateur, to say the least, that it was not like he was trying to pass. He doesn't like people passing him. So, which is something which is not good as a driver for Max Verstappen. You can be aggressive, but you can't be bad in the race where you don't have the patience to allow other drivers to have a fair racing. And pretty bad for Red Bull. Sebastian Vettel leading the race with 1.9 second. Battle going on between Esteban Ocon at 10th position and Nico Hülkenberg, who are separated by just 7/10 of the second between them. So biggest gainer in this race, Sergio Perez gained 5 places, and 3 places gained by Carlos Sainz of Toro Rosso. In terms of speed trap, the maximum speed has been achieved in this race as of now by Williams, 316 kilometers per hour, followed by Lewis Hamilton, 312 kilometers per hour. Not far behind other cars, with Roman Grosjean in Haas 311, and Saubers are also 308 kilometers per hour. So it's a fast flowing circuit. What does Paul Di Resta doing on the racetrack? He's in 16th position behind his teammate Lance Stroll, with almost 12-second gap between them. Bit of lockup for Max Verstappen as we head on in lap number 29 of this race, Hungarian Grand Prix, round 11 of Formula 1 2017 season. In the meantime, Kimi Raikkonen is inching closer to his teammate Sebastian Vettel, battle for first position, and I'm sure at this point of time Kimi Raikkonen would not like to leave any stones unturned for having a go at Sebastian Vettel to gain the race lead. Though team will always try to have maximum gain for Sebastian Vettel, who is also in contention for the championship, drivers championship this year. Time will tell. Both the cars are pretty close, just about 1 second closer to each other. We are on lap 30 of 70 of this Hungarian Grand Prix. And here we go, the next pit stop. Lance Stroll comes for the pit stop for Williams from his 15th position. And here Mercedes are getting ready for the pit stop. And who is the driver first? It's Valtteri Bottas. Reduces his pit lane speed and he's there in the pits. Clean pit stop, 2.3 seconds pit stop. Well clear, goes on back on the track. Nicely done. Car number 15 onwards have been already lapped down here by the race leader. Remember, Roman Grosjean car will be investigated for unsafe release after the race. In the meantime, Ferrari garage, Sebastian Vettel doesn't want his car to be extended any more than that. They don't want a situation where they pick up some debris and tire goes off. That will be a disaster, what we had seen in earlier race also. So here both the Ferraris are pretty close, just about 1.3 seconds gap between them. And next Mercedes comes in the pits. Lewis Hamilton comes in the pits, have a clean pit stop, 2.5 seconds, bit slower than his teammate, rejoins the racetrack. Where does he come on? He comes on behind Valtteri Bottas, which was expected. Carlos Sainz is behind him, fair bit of distance between them. Now Ferrari are getting ready for the pit stop, and which car is going to be? Most likely it should be Sebastian Vettel. And Sebastian Vettel comes in the pit. Looks to be a fairly clean stop for him. Kimi Raikkonen briefly takes the lead of this race. In lap 32, Vettel moves up and joins track in third position. Valtteri Bottas on fourth and Lewis Hamilton behind him in the fifth place. Carlos Sainz steady on sixth place, has not made the pit stop. Also Fernando Alonso have not made the pit stop. It will be interesting their strategy, because if they are holding on to one stop strategy, it will be very, very interesting race for them. But it will be a challenge also to extend the tires to lap 40 around, where they should be able to run that strategy, which looks to be a distant dream for them. In the meantime, Kimi Raikkonen, he is the leader of the race. And this lap around, Kimi also should be pitting, and yes, he does come in lap number 34. Kimi Raikkonen comes in the pits, stops, fresher tire goes on, yellow sidewall, 2.7 seconds, slower pit stop as compared to Mercedes cars. Joins on the track very close, wheel to wheel with Sebastian Vettel, and he's just at the tail of Sebastian Vettel here. Sebastian Vettel manages to keep his car in front. Max Verstappen is presently leading the race. Of course, he has to make the pit stop still, but that was pretty close when Kimi Raikkonen came out from the pits, and he did not push very hard to challenge Sebastian Vettel, but I'm sure he would love to do that. And there was a bit of slow pit stop. Whether it was a strategy of the team, we don't know, but yes, definitely there was a slow pit stop, and that is what has hampered Raikkonen to challenge Sebastian Vettel to come out in front. Nevertheless, Sebastian Vettel second, Kimi Raikkonen third, just about 1 second gap, with both the Mercedes 4th and 5th position. Kimi Raikkonen there, and now Fernando Alonso right behind Carlos Sainz here. He will fancy his chances to overtake Carlos Sainz, where McLaren has been tipped definitely a better car than Toro Rossos and Saubers. Fernando Alonso in hot pursuit of Carlos Sainz, his fellow Spaniard in Toro Rosso. Fernando Alonso coming ever closer to Carlos Sainz. In the meantime, Sergio Perez heads to pit in the pit stop, have a clean pit stop, and comes out on the track and joins at 12th position. Max Verstappen leading the race with 16 seconds from Lewis Hamilton. Remember, he's going to somewhere come on the track at the 5th position between Lewis Hamilton or just behind him. That will be very interesting to see whether he can extend his lead as much as possible as he's getting the clean track. Fernando Alonso fairly close to Carlos Sainz here. Sergio Perez in fact had some slow pit stop. He was stationary in pit stop for some time. He's joined at 12th position. And we have another pit stop for Spaniard, Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz, both of them pitted together. Fernando Alonso was almost side by side in the pits, and now they have come out of the pits, and Fernando Alonso is definitely going to be very aggressive to attack Carlos Sainz, because he knows this is the real chance to take the lead from him and overtake his fellow Spaniard over there. He's definitely inching closer right at the tail of Carlos Sainz in Toro Rosso. Remember, this is not an easy circuit to overtake, and young Carlos Sainz, who has idol in name of Fernando Alonso, is not going to give easy time for any kind of overtaking whatsoever. Fernando Alonso is thinking in his head, and Fernando Alonso makes a mistake, but he joins safely on the track. He had to give the position back to Carlos Sainz, which he does. Carlos Sainz has come out on 9th and 10th position for Fernando Alonso here. It will be a very close battle between Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz, and probably decide next greats for Formula One here. Carlos Sainz defended his position pretty nicely here. In the meantime, team rivalries goes on. Hamilton right at the tail of Valtteri Bottas. Did he make some mistake? Time to see. But Lewis Hamilton is definitely within half a second and within the DRS range of Valtteri Bottas as we come to lap 37 of this race. Lewis Hamilton is very close, just on the tail of his teammate Valtteri Bottas. And what does team doesn't require at this point of time is a collision between two, which will be a disaster for team Mercedes. And Fernando Alonso still right behind Carlos Sainz, and he has overtaken. Carlos Sainz has been overtaken by Fernando Alonso. And what else we can expect from Fernando Alonso, the greatest driver of Formula One? He is not going to give an easy time to his fellow countryman Carlos Sainz in Toro Rosso. But I'm sure Toro Rosso defended well for last few laps from Fernando Alonso since they have come out of the pits. And here, very interesting battle between the Mercedes cars. Team rivalries on the top here with Lewis Hamilton battling with Bottas. And there is a danger because Max Verstappen is going to come in the pits with 10 seconds penalty is going to take. And if Lewis Hamilton, surely the faster car between the two Mercedes, is going to lose time, Max Verstappen could be the gainer in this fight. And he could come out and sandwich both the Mercedes. In the meantime, Max Verstappen doing good. He's hitting the curbs nicely and very aggressive on the curbs. Time will tell very soon because Max Verstappen has already ran 38 laps on these super soft tires and really extending quite long stint on these tires. And surely here we have Max Verstappen who is going to keep the one pit stop strategy here. He's surely in the window. If he does another few laps on these tires, he'll be in a great shape to probably win this Grand Prix here. Max Verstappen leading the race with second position Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. And here Lewis Hamilton tries to make a move on Valtteri Bottas. Just gives some nervous feelings to Valtteri Bottas, but Bottas with his cool head under his helmet, the coolest of the fin, he is not going to give up so easily. He has showed his matureness over last few races in 2017 season. In the meantime, Stoffel Vandoorne also surely on the one-stop strategy. He is in currently 6th position and also feeling quite comfortable in that position with single stop strategy on for him also. Sebastian Vettel is being chased by his teammate with 1.5 second gap, with Valtteri Bottas another 1.5 second gap, and Lewis Hamilton ever closer to Valtteri Bottas, his teammate. So one thing we can guarantee that we are going to have some great fireworks in the closing stages of this race, Hungarian Grand Prix, round number 11 of Formula One 2017 season. As the lap 41 goes, Max Verstappen presently comfortably in the lead, but we have to remember he is going to take 10 seconds penalty and he will come out somewhere at position 4th or 5th, and if he is able to split the Mercedes, it will be definitely a good result for him. He is clear by 10 seconds from the other driver, who is Sebastian Vettel in Ferrari, and who is being chased by his teammate Kimi Raikkonen, 2 seconds gap between them. In the meantime, Fernando Alonso, next man up for him is Nico Hülkenberg and Jolyon Palmer. Palmer is at 8th position, Fernando Alonso at 9th position. They are just about close to each other to have the next battle for positions coming in. And Verstappen should be coming in any time, and he does come in. He is in the pit lane already. Stops it. Let's see how clean is his pit stop goes. Very slow pit stop for Max Verstappen. He's stationary in the pits. Of course, he has to do the 10-second stop-go penalty. 10-second finishes. Tire gets changed. Gets a yellow sidewall tire. Should be ready to bring the car home with this set of tires with single stop strategy here. Let's see where he comes on the track after his pit stop. He comes at 5th position here, which is what was expected, at 5th position. Now he needs to take care of his tires and push the tires at the end of the race to come and bring his car somewhere in position 4th. In the meantime, Stoffel Vandoorne is the other driver, had a very slow pit stop. Don't know the reason why, but he finishes his pit stop, comes out on the track, and where does he join? He joins at 12th position, behind both the Force Indias. Looks to be that is going to prove very costly for the Belgian driver here. Very slow pit stop for him. The reason is Stoffel Vandoorne could not stop his car at the right place in the pit stop. Whole of the crew had to shift forward and knocking his front jackman. It could have been a disastrous for the race engineers over there. Pretty poor show by the fellow Belgian. He almost hurt his fellow pit stop crew. Early days gentlemen from Belgium. Now Lewis Hamilton is getting in touch with his team radio and mentioning that he is the faster car than Valtteri Bottas and he should be allowed to pass Valtteri Bottas so he can challenge Kimi Raikkonen. But I'm sure with Valtteri Bottas also now in hot pursuit of the championship is not going to give away his position so quickly and easily. Lewis Hamilton definitely gaining time every lap on his teammate Valtteri Bottas. In the meantime, Fernando Alonso is in 7th position, just behind Nico Hülkenberg, and that was a position which was expected for Fernando Alonso, and before the weekend started, he has mentioned that McLaren deserves, and if they do good, they should be getting 7th and 8th position, which they are right now. But however, Daniel Ricciardo out of the race from Red Bull, he should be challenging Nico Hülkenberg of Renault for 6th position, which will be a great result for McLaren team. In the meantime, Raikkonen is coming closer and closer. He's just about 1.2 seconds closer to his teammate Sebastian Vettel. And if all the drivers finishes in this scenario, Vettel will be leading with 202 points, well clear of Hamilton with 12-second gaps and having a much better summer break there. Sergio Perez from Force India is in 9th position and his teammate Esteban Ocon is in 11th position. This is the race, and here Lewis Hamilton has overtaken Bottas. As expected, team orders comes in and he's been allowed to overtake Valtteri Bottas and challenge the championship with Sebastian Vettel. So team orders has been followed by Valtteri Bottas as a good school child. A very, very generous move, I must say, from cool-headed Finnish driver. In the meantime, Sebastian Vettel is now 3.7 seconds clear of Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton is chasing now hard on both the Ferraris, and looks to be he is finding the purple touch on this car right at the right time during this Grand Prix. He was struggling all the weekend here, and what a time to bring his car in such a good position, and he's now just behind both the Ferraris. Raikkonen will be the first man on the go for him. We are in lap 47 of this race. With Sebastian Vettel leading with one and a half second gap between him and teammate Kimi Raikkonen. Lewis Hamilton is chasing them like crazy for this to reduce his lead from Sebastian Vettel in the championship. Lap 47, Sebastian Vettel is leading by Kimi Raikkonen almost 1.191 seconds. Lewis Hamilton in third position, Bottas in fourth position. Due to some reason, Bottas is pretty slow in his car. We do not know what is the reason. did he had some kind of impact in the beginning at the lap 1 of this race? That he's definitely slowly moving in his car. Lewis Hamilton coming closer and closer to Kimi Raikkonen. Lap number 49 is on, with Sebastian Vettel leading the race, followed by his team man Kimi Raikkonen, and very closely behind Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes. He would like to take this position from Kimi Raikkonen ASAP and reduce his lead to Sebastian Vettel, who is going to definitely in a good position to get 25 points. But remember, there are some drivers on one-stop strategy like Max Verstappen, who is going to pose a challenge during the closing stages of this race. And that will be very interesting to see how does that play around with Max Verstappen later in the race. Vettel and Hamilton now with a gap of 2.5 seconds. So very soon Lewis Hamilton should be within 1 second of Kimi Raikkonen and should get the DRS, and he will definitely make his move on Kimi Raikkonen. And is he in the DRS zone this time around? Doesn't seems to be pretty close. Gap comes down to 2.2 seconds between Vettel and Hamilton. And a lot of teamwork is going on, and Valtteri Bottas has been told, who has allowed Lewis Hamilton to pass, that in case Lewis Hamilton is not able to pass Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel before the end of the race, he should give back his position to his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Let's see whether that actually happens, but seems to be a solid sportsmanship from the Silver Arrows Mercedes here. Lewis Hamilton is just about 1.5 seconds behind Kimi Raikkonen now. And here Haas and Nico Hülkenberg in fight for the position, and Haas wins the battle. Nico Hülkenberg has been overtaken by Kevin Magnussen in Haas. Renault has not had very good outing in this race. So it's just about Raikkonen is within a second gap from Sebastian Vettel, and he's also seeming to be getting frustrated now as Sebastian Vettel seems to have the slower pace at this point of time, and Kimi Raikkonen has the faster car, and both of them are being chased by Mercedes. So will Ferrari also switch to the strategy where they don't lose out both the positions to Lewis Hamilton and allows Kimi Raikkonen to pass Sebastian Vettel and let the battle between first and second goes on between the right cars? It's just about zero point 0.8 of the second between Sebastian Vettel, the team leader, the race leader, and Kimi Raikkonen here. Hamilton is just about 1.3 seconds down on Kimi Raikkonen now. Alonso is presently 6th position. Carlos Sainz in 6th position, 7th position. Sergio Perez 8th position, and Esteban Ocon, his teammate, is at 9th position, followed by the last position for the points is Stoffel Vandoorne. And very interestingly, Verstappen is lapping half a second faster on Valtteri Bottas now, who is on much fresher tires. Max Verstappen. In the meantime, Kimi Raikkonen is complaining that he's going to lose out his tires if he remains behind Sebastian Vettel for long, which will be pity if that happens, because Kimi Raikkonen surely has a faster car than his teammate Sebastian Vettel here. We are already in lap 56 of this race, and Vettel and Raikkonen are ever closer, with Lewis Hamilton also catching up within 1 second of the gap. Now it will be interesting to see all three leaders of this race will be approaching the back markers, and it will be interesting who finds the position at the right time and they don't lose out much time over there. And Lewis Hamilton takes this as an opportunity to overtake the car of Kimi Raikkonen in this process. Vettel is still staying on top, with Kimi Raikkonen complaining his engineers, his team. if he has to hold on to this position, it will be a big challenge for Ferraris, because it will be pity if they lose out to Lewis Hamilton and Lewis Hamilton comes on top and wins this Grand Prix from here. It will be an epic race to discuss in this Grand Prix. And now the back markers overtaking starts off. As of now, going very clearly on the back markers, all three leaders of the race. Kevin Magnussen has been also now lapped by Sebastian Vettel. Next up will be Stoffel Vandoorne. Sebastian Vettel leading the race, but definitely having the slower car. Kimi Raikkonen is faster, but he's not allowed to pass Sebastian Vettel by his race engineers. Next up will be the back marker. You have Nico Hülkenberg to be overtaken by Lewis Hamilton. He does it quite cleanly now. And now Bottas has picked up pace. He's just gaining a bit faster on Lewis Hamilton. As the team instructed, Lewis Hamilton has been told to pass his teammate only on the condition that if he is not able to pass both the Ferraris, he will give back the position to Valtteri Bottas. And Valtteri Bottas will surely look forward for this opportunity. And Lewis Hamilton has been told by his team to have another 5 laps and try and overtake Ferraris. If they don't, he should give his position back to the Finn. But now Lewis Hamilton doesn't seem to be bothered about listening to his team now. That is not the sportsmanship we are looking from Lewis Hamilton. He got the position from Valtteri Bottas in a platter, and he's not ready to give the position back if that happens, and he's not able to overtake any of the Ferraris. He's just behind at the tail of Kimi Raikkonen with only 11 laps to go in the race. And now suddenly Lewis Hamilton finds himself in the DRS range of Kimi Raikkonen. That will be very interesting, and he's going to make his move now in this lap around. And Lewis Hamilton makes a mistake in turn 5. And again he goes out of the DRS range. Lewis Hamilton has already done 27 laps on these tires, so he's not going to be super quick on these tires. He goes completely wide in turn 5. Makes a mistake, Lewis Hamilton. So we are in lap 60. We have 10 more laps to go. Sebastian Vettel leading still. And Lewis Hamilton is out of DRS zone to challenge Kimi Raikkonen here. Very interesting. Will Lewis Hamilton give his place to Bottas back? Time to see. Bottas is just about 5 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, his teammate. Another try by Jolyon Palmer in Renault on Haas car of Kevin Magnussen, and he goes off the track. Max Verstappen cleans up both the cars and overtakes them and laps them. So still lap 62 and race is being led by Vettel with Kimi Raikkonen behind, and Lewis Hamilton in third position is very close. Fernando Alonso has been lapped. Stoffel Van Dam has been lapped just a while back. Now Esteban Ocon has also been lapped by leaders. So ninth position onward cars has been lapped by the teams, by the faster cars. That shows how fast are these cars on this circuit. In the meantime, Paul di Resta has been told to retire the car, and he's not going to see the checkered flag in his return to the Formula One. So drivers out of the race, Paul di Resta, Roman Grosjean and Ricciardo, as we head to last 7 laps of the race. And we have some exciting action at our hands during this last 7 laps of this race. 6 laps to go. Sebastian Vettel leading by 1.1 second from Kimi Raikkonen. Lewis Hamilton third position, 1.7 seconds gap, and 3 seconds down Valtteri Bottas in his Mercedes in the fourth position. Max Verstappen is at the fifth position, and he is definitely having a faster car, and he is becoming very close to Valtteri Bottas in the dying moments of this race. Paul Di Resta has been retired. Return to the Formula One has not been so great. Verstappen is very fast and catching up on Bottas very quickly. Will Verstappen snatch that fourth position from Lewis Hamilton? We have just about 5 laps to see that action coming down to the wire now. Fifth position is Max Verstappen, who is challenging Valtteri Bottas, and we expect something is going to happen in top 5 positions here, with Fernando Alonso distant 6th place from the leaders of this race. Max Verstappen is getting ever closer to Valtteri Bottas, and that is the battle which we look forward to see in next 5 laps of this race. Just 5 laps remaining. Everybody keeping just about a lap, about 1 second gap between top 4 drivers here. Hamilton has been told that there could be a threat from Max Verstappen at the dying moment, because Verstappen is definitely very fast at this point of the race, and he's having fresher tires and is going all the way out to overtake the back markers and behind the tail of Valtteri Bottas here. And remember, Verstappen had 10-second penalty, and after that coming so close to challenge both the Mercedes. It's a great result for Red Bulls. Verstappen is just about 7/10 of a second behind Valtteri Bottas as the last 3 laps of the race unfolds here. Verstappen is all over Bottas now, and in the meantime Hamilton is gaining almost half a second in the last lap around, lap 66 that was. We are on lap 67 of 70 of this race, and Valtteri Bottas is under threat from Max Verstappen. Hamilton is about 1.8 second behind Kimi Raikkonen, who is 1.3 second behind race leader Sebastian Vettel. Max Verstappen in his last 2 laps of the race having a challenge at his hand to look forward to overtake Valtteri Bottas here. Interesting race to see in the last 2 laps here. Great race whatsoever. Sebastian Vettel managing the pace quite well. Definitely Kimi Raikkonen was held back by him for quite so long, where Kimi Raikkonen reached the prime of his tires, and here Sebastian Vettel looks set to take the victory here. Hamilton has pulled off and he's having almost 2 seconds gap at this point of time when last 2 laps of the race starts off. Max Verstappen is just about 1.8 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas. Fernando Alonso in strong 6th position here, which is the best result for McLaren in this year around, and it was expected and touted by McLaren that they will have a very strong finish, but they were expecting 7th position, and because of Ricciardo retirement they are going to get 6th position here, with his teammate Van Dam also in last position, 10th position, and will pick up his first points of 2017 season. In the meantime, Nico Hülkenberg has pitted with 1 lap to go for this race, and his car has been retired. Nico Hülkenberg. So we are on the last lap of this Formula 1 round 11 of Hungarian Grand Prix, and Sebastian Vettel is on top and on the course for his race win here at Hungarian Grand Prix. Final corner on his way. Lewis Hamilton is getting the 3rd position as he crosses and comes closer to the last corner of the track, and Sebastian Vettel wins the Hungarian Grand Prix comfortably with a gap of 1.5 seconds. Kimi Raikkonen brings his car home at 2nd position, 1-2 for Ferrari after a long time. Lewis Hamilton finishes 3rd. Valtteri Bottas comfortably finishes 4th here. And Valtteri Bottas in the last lap has switched the positions for Mercedes, which was an agreement done between at the team end. And Sebastian Vettel and Mercedes has swapped the position. So Bottas gets the 3rd position, Lewis Hamilton stays 4th. So Sebastian Vettel wins this round before the summer break. Happy summer break for him. For Sebastian Vettel, who wins his 4th Grand Prix of this season and equals 4 Grand Prix wins for Lewis Hamilton also. It was such a nice race for Ferrari here. And imagine, Fernando Alonso has done the fastest lap of the race. It was great. McLaren gets the fastest lap of the race. Amazing. It was great result for McLaren here. So as the Hungarian Grand Prix comes to an end, Sebastian Vettel wins his 4th Grand Prix of this season, and Fernando Alonso, to a surprise, gets the fastest lap of the race. Kimi Raikkonen brings his Ferrari home at 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Bottas, who had swapped position with his teammate Lewis Hamilton. So race comes to an end here, and we have a long break of summer when we start off in the last week of August at Belgian Grand Prix. And friends, with this I'll also finish this live commentary which has been brought to you from my side, Naresh, your host from Autocars India. And please click and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on the right bottom corner of your screens, and look forward to see you another 4 weeks time after a happy summer break in Europe at Belgian Grand Prix in 4 weeks time. Bye bye and take care. Have a happy summer break.